All right, Hartford area Catholics will soon have a new leader. Pope Francis tapping Archbishop Christopher Coyne to take the top spot in the Archdiocese of Hartford in 2024. The Archbishop will officially be introduced with a special mass this Monday that you can catch on our sister station, the CW20. And we are privileged to have the Archbishop joining us this morning. Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It is nice to have you in the studio. Welcome to Connecticut. You'll take over for Archbishop Blair next year. What are you most excited about?
I think I'm just most excited about over the next few months just meeting people, getting out to the various agencies and churches and schools and becoming familiar with the lay of the land. I'm still learning where towns and cities, I've learned that Enfield's the top and, Madison's the bottom as far as north-south goes and things like that.
All right, well underway there. Listen, you and I have a shared history. We were talking off camera before you worked here. You were in Burlington. I was in Burlington, Vermont, reporting and anchoring back in 2014 when you arrived. You arrived at a time when we saw congregations shrinking. We saw churches closing. There were a lot of heated emotions about that. What can you tell Catholics here in Connecticut who share some of those concerns?
That I really understand what they're going through, the kind of grieving that they're facing when you talk about closing a church and closing a building. But I also think there's great opportunities for strengthening communities by bringing two small communities together into one building and then bringing the resources together, but it's still hard, and that I'm very, very sensitive to that, and I also don't just come down on high and say this is what's going to happen, that I do consult and talk to people.
Are you envisioning potentially having to do that here as well?
It's clear that that's the situation that's in process right now. The current Archbishop Blair has, with his staff, done a lot of work in bringing parishes together, and 2 or 3 parishes together. But then you still have all these buildings, so you have to make a decision as to which building you need to keep and use, because we can't be maintaining buildings. We need to maintain mission.
I want to talk about what has made headlines this week. The Pope hinting at the idea that he may bless or be open to blessing unions between gay individuals. That would be a large step for the Catholic Church that has long been opposed to gay marriage. Is that something that you support? Can you see yourself getting behind that?
I'm not quite sure where this is coming from in the sense of what direction he wants to lead us. I think that throughout our tradition and history, the reality is that the only kind of reunion that we bless as something that's of the church or of the sacraments is that between a man and a woman. But he's kind of encouraging us to be more open to the reality that there are people in the midst of our communities who are living different lifestyles and have different relationships and different ways of living in the world. And I think they need to be as much a part of our church as I am or anybody else is, all striving to kind of move down the road towards faith and salvation. So I'm not quite sure where this is going to come, but I'm open to wherever the Spirit leads us and to wherever the bishops with the Pope lead us as well.
Let's talk about your history. When I talked to your congregants in Vermont and when you hear them today, I think part of what sets you apart as a leader within the church is you're pretty savvy on social media. What can people expect from you? How do you plan to connect with your congregation in 2023, 2024?
Well, I have a lot larger staff here already working, and I'm working with them. We've already moved my Facebook page, personal Facebook page, from Burlington to here in Hartford, and they're basically working with me and controlling that with me. But I'll continue to do things as much as possible. One of the things we did in Burlington, for example, is that every single parish webpage, every single school webpage was all on the same kind of font, the same kind of outreach. So that allowed for an awful lot of communication. So yeah, I try and use the digital media in a good way, and I'm aware of the pitfalls too.
Right. Very quickly, because we need to go. You're a huge New England sports fan. The Patriots are 1-3 right now with Mac Jones at QB. Do you have a special prayer for this Sunday as we take on the Saints?
No. People say you must be really upset about the Patriots. I say, how can I be upset? I've seen 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
That's just gluttonous.
Archbishop Coyne, thank you for joining us on the couch. Please come back, and best of luck as you take on this new chapter in your life.
Thank you. God bless.
All right. Back to you guys.